Okay, after understanding that the name Allah is not a name that a person should be afraid of, and it's only the Arabic usage of the name of God, the Creator, the one that is worthy of worship. And not only do the Muslims use the name Allah, also the non-Muslims use the name Allah. It's not a spooky name or a name that a person should be afraid of. It's very common, and it should not be attributed to any type of terrorism. We will talk about that in videos to come. What I want to point out is that, okay, once we understand that this name, it is for the Creator. This is the name that the Muslims use to speak of the Creator. It should also be taken into consideration that in order to call something the Creator, he should have qualities that are only for the Creator. Meaning, the first verse in the Quran, it says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, that all praise is for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. So, we see two characteristics in this, or one characteristic that is in this verse that is very important. And this characteristic is that He is the Lord of the world. He is the one who created everything. He is the first and the last. He hears everything. All of us are praying at one time, and He hears all of us. These are characteristics that are not human. He knows everything. He sees everything. There is no deficiency in the one who created everything. It cannot be. If there are any deficiencies in the one who created everything, or any type of or any God that we want to worship, then we should know that He is not worthy of being the one we worship. So when we single out as Muslims Allah, we're singling Him out not as God, but the deity or the God that is worthy of worship, that the God that overshadows all other things that are being worshipped, because He is qualified and deserving for our worship. Example, I love my mother. You love your mother. You love our parents. And our love for our parents is because they brought us into this world and nurtured us and took care of us, fed us when we were weak, took care of us while we was weak. And we will take care of them when they get old, hopefully. Right? So they're deserving of that. Wouldn't it make sense that the one who created our parents and their parents and kept them healthy deserves our worship? That makes sense. It makes sense that if I'm going to worship something, He needs to have characteristics that are not human. He's powerful. He has power and unlimited power that keeps Him stronger and more capable than anything of human nature. For this reason, He is the all-seeing. Means He sees all of us all the time. We can never escape His sight. He hears all of us, our prayers, our ill speech, our good speech, all the time. We cannot get around what He hears. And these are some of the things that keeps us obedient. To know that you are always being watched by the Supreme Being keeps him worthy of your prayers and keeps you in check to the best of your ability, because we are all human. Okay. So after we understand that the creator of the heavens and the earth has characteristics that are only befitting for the creator, we had to eliminate some of the misconceptions that are with people, that we have learned, that we were taught. And it is not we're not trying to shoot down any particular religion. We are trying to put things in its proper place. And what is not in its proper place is that we put qualities of the creator in man. Like if I was to tell you people who pray to Muhammad, may peace be upon them, you would say that's not correct, because Muhammad is not because Muhammad is not the creator. And because he's not the creator, he is only worthy of the characteristics that he had, and that is a prophet and a messenger, but not the creator. So how about if I said that we shouldn't worship Jesus? Because Jesus did not carry the characteristics of the creator. From the first characteristic that Jesus did not possess was the ability to know everything. Jesus was born. God is not born. He's the first and the last. And it has to make sense. It needs to make sense. What we worship must make sense. It's mentioned in the Bible that Jesus was born. He was born from Mary, and she was a virgin. The birth is miraculous. We as Muslims do not doubt this. This is not the point of contention between Christians and the Muslims. The point of contention lies on how do we understand Jesus. We as Muslims, we understand him to be a prophet and a messenger, and from amongst the best messengers of Allah that ever walked the earth. But we see that there are characteristics that doesn't allow us to understand Jesus to be any more than that. Like it's mentioned in the Bible when Mary Magdalene, if I'm correct, had approached him from the back. He was startled. He didn't know who it was behind him. And we're not saying that we accept that this verse is even true, but we're saying that let's bring common sense to things that may not be as logical as we think they are. Another thing is when Jesus was according to the Bible, hung on the cross, he was powerless. And even mentioned that he died in the Bible. God is never going to die. The Creator will never take on the characteristics of the creation. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. Like I said, this is not an attack on Christianity. It's an attack on what is true, what is not true. We believe as Muslims that there were parts of the Bible, and this is fact, of the Bible that were changed and altered. Due to those alterations, we do not accept or negate something from the Bible that is not explained in the Quran. And when we say that this is a heavy statement to say that Jesus is God, and people look as if it's a small statement, we believe this. When we mention that Jesus is God, it's a verse in the Quran that says that the statement of the Christians that mention that God has begotten a son, when this statement reaches the heavens is ready to split and explode from such a heavy statement. I have children. Most of you will probably listen to this video have children. And we know that the purpose of bringing a child, of procreating a child, is to keep our lineage going on, and to, after we die, our names stay relevant. The name of God will always stay relevant. The existence of the Creator will always stay relevant. Let's put things in its proper place. And from those things are any other idols that we worship. The Arabs used to make idols out of date. Some of you may know what that is. It's a form of fruit that grow in very hot places and in warm climate from date palm trees. And they would make idols from these dates. And when they became hungry, they would eat the dates. Meaning that their deity, their God, was deficient. God is never deficient. God will always be powerful. This so-called war of the devils and the angels, this is another misconception we will talk about at a later time. But the point is, and I mentioned this before in another place, the point is, and it's very important, that due to these alterations that are in the Bible, it is not correct for us to accept some of the truth and leave something else. It has to be 100% factual, 100% proven, 100% correct. So after we have understood that God, Allah, the Creator, has qualities and characteristics that are only befitting for Him, we must analyze our understanding of God. We must analyze what we have been taught to now what we now know and believe. It is not about a social gathering. All of my friends are Muslim, so I'm Muslim. No, it is about that which is true, so that we can obtain the reward of the Creator, which is paradise. Paradise. For some people, paradise is only an area in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But for other people who truly believe that the Creator who brought us here on this earth will not allow our lives to have been without any benefit, living a righteous life, and then dying at the age of 50 or 60 or 70 years of age, we know there's a paradise. Because just like there's an earth, and what an amazing creation it is, it shows that superiority, shows the superiority of the Creator and His ability to create anything that He wants. Please, if you have been following this far, continue to follow One Understanding for Islam, and we will upload more videos, hopefully to be beneficial, not only myself, but other qualified students who took the ability and the time and the opportunity to study abroad or study in their respected homelands, study Islam, study the Arabic language, some qualified scholars to teach and give back to our communities. Thank you.